For a long time, I believed my life was limited by external factors, where I was born, the opportunities I didn't have, the mistakes I made in the past. I thought if I just worked harder, waited longer, or learned more, things would eventually change. But they didn't. What changed instead was a quiet realization that made me deeply uncomfortable. My life wasn't blocked, it was responding. There is an invisible law operating in your life every single day. It doesn't care about motivation, hope, or intention. It works automatically, silently, and constantly, and most people never notice it. This law doesn't ask what you want. It responds to what you repeatedly give energy to. For years, I blamed circumstances, but slowly, I started noticing a pattern. The same types of problems, the same emotional reactions, the same outcomes, just with different faces, different jobs, same frustration, different people, same disappointment, different goals, same feeling of being stuck. That's when a disturbing thought crossed my mind. What if reality wasn't punishing me? What if it was cooperating with me? Not with my words, not with my goals, but with something much deeper. Your attention is not neutral, it is instructional. Whatever you consistently focus on, your mind begins to treat as important. And whatever your mind treats as important, it looks for everywhere. This is not philosophy. It's how the human brain survives. The brain is a filtering machine. Out of millions of stimuli, it decides what matters and what doesn't. And here's the problem. Most people never consciously choose what they train their brain to notice. They replay the same worries, they revisit the same memories, they consume the same content, they have the same conversations, and then they're surprised when life keeps reflecting the same reality back to them. I wasn't unlucky. I was consistent with the wrong focus. Once I saw this, I realized something frightening. This law had been shaping my life long before I ever became aware of it. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. The experiment. After that realization, I didn't try to change my thoughts overnight. I didn't force optimism. I didn't repeat affirmations. Instead, I asked a simpler question. What if I stopped reinforcing the version of myself I no longer wanted to be? So I ran an experiment. For 30 days, I applied one rule. I didn't try to control my thoughts. I only controlled what I consistently fed them with. I paid attention to what triggered emotional reactions, what drained my energy, what reinforced fear, scarcity, and self-doubt. I stopped engaging with conversations that kept me stuck in old stories. I stopped consuming content that made me feel powerless or anxious. I stopped rehearsing explanations for why things never work out. This wasn't about avoidance, it was about awareness. Every time my attention drifted toward the familiar negative patterns, I didn't fight it, I simply redirected it. At first, nothing dramatic happened, no miracles, no sudden breakthroughs. But something subtle began to shift. My reactions changed before my circumstances did. Situations that used to trigger anxiety felt quieter. Decisions that once felt confusing became clearer. Opportunities I would have ignored before started standing out. Not because the world changed overnight, but because my perception did. Your reality doesn't change first. Your filters do. And when your filters change, different options suddenly become visible. This is where most people get it wrong. They try to change outcomes without changing the internal system that selects those outcomes. But reality doesn't respond to effort alone. It responds to alignment. Slowly, I noticed that life wasn't resisting me as much anymore. It wasn't suddenly easy, but it felt responsive, as if I had stopped sending mixed signals. That's when I realized something important. This law is not mystical, it's mechanical, and it works whether you understand it or not. The law. Explained. Here is the law, explained clearly. Your reality is not responding to what you desire. It is responding to what you consistently sustain, not your wishes, not your goals, not your intentions, your attention. Whatever you repeatedly observe, emotionally react to, and expect to continue becomes your default pattern. The brain assumes repetition equals importance. Importance shapes perception. Perception shapes decisions. Decisions shape outcomes. This is why people feel trapped in cycles. They think they are stuck because of circumstances, but they are stuck because their attention keeps reinforcing the same internal model of reality. Once I understood this, I stopped asking, "Why does this keep happening to me?" And I started asking, "What am I training my mind to notice every day?" This question changes everything, because the moment you become aware of your attention, you regain leverage. You don't need to control every thought. You don't need to force belief. You only need to notice what you are feeding consistently. This law is already shaping your life right now. It always has been. The only difference is whether you are unconscious of it or finally working with it. Awareness is the switch. And once it's flipped, reality can no longer operate on autopilot. It begins to respond differently, not because the world changed, but because you did.